Hey everyone, I'm back. I'm rendering the other thing in the background, so just ignore that. If there's a little bit of lag, well, that's how life is. I'll edit it and it won't have lag, so you won't even notice, so I don't even know why I brought it up. Anyway, here's this. More of this. We got us some, good old-fashioned JoJo. Blah, 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 blah. And then we're going to do the JoJo guy. In an utterly unsurprising turn of events, the night finds you trolling Alterna in search of, well, trolls. The friendly type, preferably, though you've been known to work wonders with hostile folks, too. You currently are hunting a ground... Your current hunting ground appears to be primarily Teal neighborhood, which suits you just fine. Teals live relatively comfortably and are usually only mildly disdainful of you, which strikes you as a good place in search for companionship. Sounds about right. I think I said as much, like gold and teal is about where it's comfy. Gold seems to be nerd. Just saying. You got another pressing concern, though. A faint glow on the far horizon, which suggests that sun will be rising soon. A couple hours from now at most. Nights on Alterna seem to last forever, but when the daylight hits, it hits hard like a truck. But this truck is on fire, and the fire is a nuclear fusion, and the truck is a star. Point is that you're not in the mood for another sunburn. You'd better snag a buddy before it's too late. You, the strange hornless one. Speak of the devil, you whip around and spot a troll boy with a stylish hat and a sword sheathed on his back. His clothes are a little shabby, but he carries himself with a rigid, composed air. What are you, some kind of mutant troll? Or another sentient creature? You're definitely the latter, you say. Unless you would rather... Wait, what happens if I... Oh, that didn't change whether or not it's loud or quiet for you guys. Unless you would rather prefer the former, in which case that you're actually... That, actually. But mutants, you've learned, are not particularly well-liked on this planet. An alien. Won't have to call you, then. Not immediately, at least. You don't appear to be on a call-on-site species. Lucky for you, I like that his thing is like a slash mark. Lucky for you, I won't have to loose my blade, and lucky for me, I have found a potential comrade. You know what you seek. I know what you seek. Shelter and friendship? Not necessarily in that order. You're about to speak up, but he's already moved on. You seek a meeting place of the Eastern Alterna fine animate... God, you're a weeb. Or as some less cultured souls would call it, the anime club. I was never in the anime club, but I was friends with people who were. I was always in the video game club and like the card game club. President of both because everyone else had shit grades. Not that mine were great, but you had to have like at least a B average. And just, I don't know. Anyway. Oh, club. Back home, teachers used to go on and on about how clubs were a wonderful place to meet new friends. You didn't really believe it then, but maybe things are different here on Alterna. You confidently assert that, yes, you are here for the animes. Good. I feared I was going to have to cancel tonight's meeting to no-shows, but now I can proceed as scheduled. Follow me. He gestures towards his hive and begins to stride confidently towards it. But then he rethinks it, pausing to look back at you. Wait, subs or dubs? Oh, shit. Okay, me personally, I like to listen to stuff while I'm working on art or other things. So for me, dubs are better. Also, I think at this point, episode like 50 or whatever the fuck of Hiveswap at this point, you guys are aware of how stupid I am and how dyslexic I am. Just dubs. But the correct answer, I'm gonna go with that one or that one. It's a bit of a coin flip for me, so I'm gonna go with subs. It's entertaining how wrong you are. Even the greatest of Alterna philosophers require a sparring opponent on the battlefield of intellect. To challenge your assumptions with my superior logic and taste will be, but it's an opinion. It's not actually even my opinion. I was just trying to be friends. I figured you'd be a hard ass about that, but His name is Singiri. I just realized this. Not really the reaction you were hoping for, but you'd say anything to get into someone's hive, so you'll take it. Oh my fucking god. Oh my, ew, shit. Oh god. Oh fuck. Oh no. Oh god, what the fuck? This entire room. Oh god. Tagiri invites you into his hive with a sweeping bow. You step into the foyer. The hive looked normal from the outside, normal by troll standards at least, but the inner decor is entirely different vibe to it. He reminds you of Japanese architecture. Tagiri takes off his sandals before entering the next room. You need to take off your shoes too if you had any. You step into his living room and you are assaulted, not literally, thankfully, by the absolute smorgasbord of merchandise. This place looks like someone did the Gorgle search for Otaku collection and opened up the first result. I like the subtle, like, One Piece reference over there. And I'm sure these are other, like, anime references as well. But my god, the titties and the fucking body pillows and the... Someone would buy that, too. Oh god, People have jerked it to Homestuck, haven't they? Jesus fucking Christ. Oh. I mean, like, I've always kind of been aware of that in the periphery, but actually seeing a body pillow of a troll made me realize, like, how, like, real that is. Posters and scrolls adorn, and that outfit is just ridiculous. Posters and scrolls adorn every inch of the wall available, and inches of the wall that aren't available are blocked by shelves containing all sorts of DVD, manga, and other such forms of media. On a large glass shelving unit near the room's exit, you spy a venerable cornucopia of anime figures, most of whom seem to be in various states of undress. You would describe it as tasteful nudity, but you would also like to describe yourself as the most... You would like to describe it as tasteful nudity, but you'd also like to describe yourself as the most popular person on Alterna, both of which would be a lie. Sengiri has arranged his merchandise meticulously according to blood color, from red at the bottom and fuchsia at the top. I see you're admiring my East Alternia collectibles. I polish them daily, just as I polish my blade. Don't touch them or you taste folded steel. You slowly retract your hand. You wouldn't even dream of touching them. That was never even something you were planning on doing. You wouldn't even breathe on them. In fact, you step far away from the collectibles just in case. What's up with the leg? With a small step, you bump into something, look behind you, and hear a small rough. You spin around to look at what must be Tunguri's lusses, surveying you with an intense gaze. Looks a lot like Shiba Inu, if they were twice the size and had opposable everything. Honestly, watching it scuttle around like a monkey while sniffing at you is pretty entrancing. Eventually, you seem to meet its standards because it darts out of the room. You hear some rustling in what you assume is the kitchen. That was Tadashi Inu, my lussus. He taught me everything I know. I could not have asked for a better sensei. Yeah, dogs are great, you respond, but then immediately you wish you could take back the dogs are great. That's got to be the blandest possible statement you could have made. And possibly inaccurate, too. What was this thing called? A bark beast? A fetch fiend? A wolf gremlin? Tengiri isn't paying attention to you anymore. He's busily perusing his shelves and picking out some DVDs. For my viewing schedule, watch a carefully curated selection of episodes from one classic and one from a recent release. But since you're a newcomer, it might be best not to jump into the middle of the Last Bout series Philosopher Half Iron. Like... Full Metal Alchemist? Perhaps we shall stick instead to begin with the first season of School-Fed Heroism, My Hero Academia, and transition into some episodes of Kismet Stuck Morning. Kismet Stuck. I don't know that one. I don't know what that is. That's something else. What's the one that me and Solo have been watching recently? It's one where it's just about a girl on her way to school. It's like that traditional Japanese anime trope of like, oh no, I'm late for school, but it's just that's the joke. And like the bullshit she gets into on like just trying to get to school on time. It's pretty good. Don't remember the name of it. And I feel like there's another one. Oh, Overlord. That one's good. The original airing, of course, not the censored one with the ridiculous CG dragon. Looks like Tagiri intends to take full control of this morning's activities, which you'll find entirely something. The less you need to assert your own opinions and make your own choices, the less likely you are to fuck up. It's probably not a healthy way to live, but it's indeed gotten you somewhere between 1 to 19 friends so far. So you're sticking to it. With depth and precise movements, Tagiri retrieves a disc from the container and pops it into the troll equivalent of a DVD player. It makes a slimy chugging noise as it sucks the disc in, and like usual, you aren't sure if it's an inanimate object or a living being. Either way, you're a little bit disgusted. The DVD player hums, and Tagiri's TV lights up with colorful title screen. You're ready to get settled in for a journey through the wonderful world of animes, but he frowns and pauses the episode less than a minute in. Hang on, this isn't the correct copy. The localization on those lines was changed after the original translator was culled by Purple Blood for crimes against buffoonery. I specifically ordered first edition and paid extra for it. This is unacceptable. Tagiri stops the DVD player and ejects the disc and places it back in the case. Come, there's still time this night. We need to go resolve this immediately. The shop that imported it for me is nearby. His music's pretty good. He heads for the door and beckons you to follow, which you do. I guess it wasn't too much to hope for a quiet morning inside, was it? You guess it was too much to ask, whatever. At least you got to go shopping for animes, which sounds fun enough. Will it be one of those fancy automated stores, you wonder? No, unlike most stores on Alterna, this specialty shop is run by a living troll. A fellow collector who would not entrust such work to an automaton. So one would expect with an actual think pan involved, there'd be no careless mistakes like this. At least I'm on good terms with the owner, so I doubt there will be trouble. You, on the other hand, expect plenty of it. Pretty much everything on this goddamn planet has been trouble so far. Does he know how awful it is here? You don't want to human-splain to him or anything, but things are pretty awful here. Things are pretty awful here. You guess he knows. He's staring at one of the many billboards that line the street, which has been defaced with some bright red graffiti. It says some pretty nasty stuff about Trizia. Rebel statements grow by the moment. Alterna lies on the verge of peril. A blade's edge. Not any blade, but the blade of a razor-sharp folded steel katana. Forged under the... Why are blacksmiths doing shit at night? You know how hard it is to fucking do things at night? Have you ever tried to, like, do anything creative in the middle of the night outside? I mean, I know it's like a forge, but, like, it's like, just wait for the day, dude. I don't know anything about, like, forging shit, but it just seems like that's an unnecessary step. And I get that it's, like, 10 times more weeb if it's at, like, moonlight, but fuck you. Heated by the bellows breath of a magnificent draconian lustus, cooled by the shimmering cascade of an acid waterfall, and fit to be handled only by a true expert. Do you dance? You got a little off guard by that question. Dancing? As in moving one's body to music? Yes, in a way. Moving to the sweet, sweet music of steel on steel, to the rhythm of combat, the stiletto step that weaves death and glory into one beautiful motion. Do you dance? Oh, sword fighting. Of course. I actually did do sword fighting for a while. Kind of fucked up my body. Joints, anyway. Used to be pretty good at it. Did a few tournaments and all that. Kendo, of course, because, you know, I did, like, regular fencing, but I kind of found it a little bit more, it was boring. It was really boring. Like, I just want to, like, smack a dude with a sword real fucking hard. And then I learned in Kendo you don't do that either, but it feels a little bit better. It's more fun, more tactical, more movement, less dancing on a tight wire. This guy's is only 2 settings, talking about swords or talking about anime. Sometimes he gets particularly frisky and talks about both at once. You tell him that you don't know how to handle swords, but they seem really cool, and you'd love to learn. Cool? Swordplay is more than cool, it's a way of life, a code of honor. So pick up the blade is to bind yourself to the tenets of Bushido. I know this is just like something that you guys probably already fucking know, but like, that doesn't make any sense. Bushido is not like a rigid system. It's like chivalry. Like, it was very dependent on, like, I mean, like, explicitly I believe it was like horseback riding. And I've never ridden a horse in my life, and I don't think this fucker has either. So I don't think either of us can really claim that we know anything about Bushido. I mean, later it evolved into like a code of ethics, but that was totally dependent on, you know, each individual shogunate and all that, and it's just like, fuck you. If you say that you live by the tenets of Bushido, but you don't even know what the fuck they are, and you don't know that basic fact, you can go fuck yourself. I don't. Because I know someone's gonna be like, oh, well, he's implying that he does. Fuck you. I'm prepared at all times to enforce justice the only way a swordsman knows, through steel. Someday, the pursuit of justice may bring me face to face with these rebel scum. I must be ready to show them my true magnificent terror of... Who knows, maybe I would be even awarded a Congressional Medal of Honor. A troll can dare to dream. The fingerless gloves really make the outfit. That and the trench coat, fingerless gloves, and katana. You are rocking that, like, 90s, 2000s anime aesthetic. So that's why he practices swordplay, huh? To enforce justice, kind of like a vigilante? Vigilante? Please. I would never cull a troll who legally deserves... I would only ever cull a troll who legally deserves death. What kind of lawless moron do you take me for? You don't take him for a moron at all. In fact, he's very smart and clever and just. You hope you're not laying it on too thick, but he seems to be enjoying the praise. We're here. This won't take too long. He's taking you to a place, he's taking you to a night market that reminds you of the place where you met Polypa, a strip mall that lies to the left of so many tenants and stalls. The sign above one door reads, Super Tapito Imports. That was an Overwatch logo, and that's a Mega Man thing. What else do I recognize? That's Centipede. I believe that is as well. But he covered up the Overwatch logo. You kind of see it there. As he entered, Tinguri makes a beeline for the counter, which is manned by a greasy-looking gold button and pinkish-looking eyes. You, on the other hand, are more interested in the rest of the store. It looks like Tinguri's living room, but bigger. And this is one of those things that people give a shit about in Homestuck. I don't know what it is. Anime figures are on sale for what it looks like to be a preposterous amount of money. DVDs and comics lining the shelves, arcade games in the corner. There's even a section for replica swords, which all look far too sharp and legitimately deadly for your liking. Skulking between the shelves is an olive blood guy. You can't tell if he works here or if he's just browsing. You're not quite sure if any trolls even have normal jobs. You're about to ask the olive guy about a particularly interesting DVD when you are distracted by a commotion at the counter. You're pretty sure you heard Tinguri snarl something about his rights as a customer or consumer. Looks like trouble's brewing. You turn your head towards the counter and listening in. Do you really think you can get away with ripping me off like this? Do you know who I am? My blood cast? I'm Steel Blood, like me, has connection. A vast network of like-minded souls at my beck and call, ready to be unsheathed against hapless foes. The legal force that I can bring to bear against you is greater than your puerile mind can even imagine. I've been on the other side of the counter during this discussion, and it's why I want to leave customer service behind forever. A fleet of legislators will descend on you like shadow clones, all armed with the greatest weapon of all. Just hold on. Knowledge. And with our intricate understanding of Alterna legal code, you will be mired in suits so myriad and so mind-numbing that you will wish for a swift and early death by my blade can provide. Or, you can offer me exchange for equal or greater value to my original purchase. Which path will you choose to walk, scum? I hate this guy. Do I like any Teal Bloods? I think I come up with this every single time. I don't actually like any, do I? Like, I think they're all fucking psychos. Gold Blood, they're fucking gremlin enough to be friends with me. You wander closer to the counter, hoping that you might be able to resolve the situation, but instead you blunder right into an Olive Blood and send a box tumbling from his hands to the ground. A bunch of assorted products spill out onto the shopkeeper's spill out as the shopkeeper grasps dramatically. You don't see what the big deal is. It just looks like more DVDs and manga. One cover features a troll with heart-shaped horns and bright pink sign. Another features some red blood douchebag wearing pants way too tall for him. Tagiri picks up one of the mangas and waves in front of the shopkeeper's face. Can you care to explain what I'm looking at here? Imperial Dictate number... The second section 3.2. The depiction of non-standard hematological attributes are strictly forbidden. Imperial Dictate number the 7th, Section 5, material which encourages action against the state is considered contraband to the highest degree. The Olive Blood, who can clearly see the situation is careening down here like a scuttle buggy without wheel stops, begins to creep towards the door. You'd love to do the same, but you can't give up on your new friendship. It's basically pathological. To think that my favorite Eastern Alternate hobby shop could stoop so low as to peddle this criminal filth. What sickening betrayal. Shopkeeper stammers, offering only a litany of muddled explanations that only seem to incite sense to Gary further, who's holding it for a friend. No, wait, it's satire? This is, oh god, he's got the fucking... Gary slams his palm down on the counter and his eyes shoot open, revealing a dark purple irises with a strange swirl pattern. Imperial Dictate number 61st. Number the 60... That's just awkward. Number the 61st, Section 2. Satire is especially contraband. You think you can mess around with me? I've watched countless hours of legal drum and played and replayed legendary legislator and memorized every twist. I know the law back and forth. And now, it's time for the punishment due. You're fucking dead, kiddo. As Tagiri... Okay, there's the Overwatch logo. You can see it now. I recognize the thing, guys. Please clap. As Tagiri leans over the counter, his free hand grips the hilt of his katana and tenses, ready to draw, but he's about to straight up execute this guy. I can't tell if he's just got like that anime where it's like, oh well, it's not actually one of those really like fan servicey gross ones. It's actually just satire, so it's fine. Or if it's one of those, well, she's actually a 5,000-year-old demon, and so it's not messed up, even though she looks like she's 5. She's 5,000. It's like, dude, no. That didn't work for me, man. You're only into her because she looks like she's 5. Let's be real. And that's fucked up. So is it one of those situations where it's like one of those two things? Because the first one's not as bad. It's just like, you know what? If you want to watch like softcore porn, just do it. Don't try and make excuses. But like the other one, just fuck you. But like, or is this just like a like, this planet's fucked up? This planet's just fucked up. You know what? I'm gonna hedge on the bet that this guy is just executing. You know what? It's probably not a good idea to get in the way. I'm just gonna not get in the way. Really don't want to. Maybe he will hold back and just get a refund. You really don't want to get in between the shopkeeper and Tingiri's sword. For all you know, this really does warrant an immediate execution. Who are you to exactly? Maybe he does need to be straight up murdered. I don't know. I don't know a damn thing. I've proven that. You do, however, squint a little so you don't have to see the full gory detail of the culling. Turns out it's not nearly as gory as you expect, as Tingiri leaps over the counter and swings wildly at the guy, but many of his attacks fail to connect. It's mostly a bunch of bombastic anime-style moves that don't translate well to actual combat. Still, some strike home, drawing a spray of murky gold blood that jolts out of the shopkeeper out of his petrified fear. He screeches and unleashes a strobing psionic blast from his eyes, causing Tingiri to stagger back, disoriented. The flash of light doesn't seem to have caused any real damage. This guy's still just straight up playing fucking Centipede. He's like, I'm not getting involved. But it does offer a perfect opportunity to flee. By the time your eyes have adjusted to the only thing they see is the back door swinging wildly in its wake. Unsurprisingly, the olive blood is nowhere to be seen as well. Tingiri glances down at his katana, stained with the blood of the shopkeeper, and slowly sheathes it, his hand shaking, claws tapping at the hilt restlessly. He turns towards you, forcing himself back into his usual stoic posture. He got lucky, that's all, but he can't hide forever. Let's go. We need to report this to a drone. He strides out of the shop, leaving you to fall hurriedly behind. What a mess, you hesitantly ask him whether or not it was really necessary to try and kill that boy for what he did. Of course it was. The law is absolute. A foreigner like you may not understand it, but it is not my duty to question the righteousness of my actions, but I am a tool which the law is enforced. You are a vigilante. I am the blade that her Empress condescension wields to maintain order in this world of chaos. Just like this drone. He gestures towards a big, hulking drone, one of those big, hulking drones that you've grown all too familiar with during your stay here on Alterna. Right now, it looks like it's cleaning up some bronze-colored blood that was splattered on the side of a building. Tingiri approaches and hails it, begins to explain that there's a collector shop he needs to report for rebel activity, but the drone isn't listening to any of that. It slowly turns from him to stare directly at you and raises his weapon to your face. Grating electronic noise ensues from its metallic grill. In immortal words of the wise cartoon, Ruh-roh. Hold it! This creature is under my protection and has committed no crime. You continue to attempt this culling, I will strike back with my katana. You're fucking dead, kid. And a strongly worded letter to your superiors. The drone seems supremely annoyed that it can't just get right down to the culling a motherfucker, but Tingiri's cast might just be high enough to give it pause. You, the motherfucker in question, are incredibly relieved. And drinks of water. That relief quickly fades when the drone produces a palm husk with a blurry picture of you on a screen with lots of text beneath it, most of it flashing red. That's never a good sign. It looks like a rap sheet. Tingiri reads through it quickly, which is pretty impressive feat considering his eyes are still closed. His expression darkens the further down he gets. Wanted for suspicion of meat product theft. Wanted for suspicion of, heist of fine art. Accomplice to the assassination of a Violet Blood. You did not realize you had racked up such a heavy list of crimes. He's already rounding on you with a fury of radiating off every inch of his being is terrifying. You know you've seen what this guy is. You know you've seen this guy arguing with the retail clerk. You know you've seen this guy. Fuck it. All the time you thought your soul was open to the way of the samurai. I thought I had met a potential new connoisseur of the animated arts, but no. Your blood pusher pumps only lies through your villainous veins. You were just looking for an alibi, a place to bide your time, to hide away from the drones until it was time to indulge once more in your criminal ways. You try and defend yourself, you didn't do any of those things. And you had a perfectly good reason for most of them. Tengiri isn't buying it. He's clutching his katana hilt so tight, veins are bulging out of his hand. Silence, coward. The time has come for my blades to strike true. Ah! He draws his blade in a smooth motion and swipes it. Okay, so one thing I gotta mention is, as far as I know, no one actually wears swords on their backs because it's super inconvenient. Like, go get a broom or something and try and take it off of your back without, like, it being awkward. It's just not, it's not easy. It's easier to do it off your hip. That's why everyone wears swords on their hips, because it fucking makes sense. Goddamn weebs. He draws his blade in a smooth motion and swipes at you, and you just barely manage to sidestep the attack. You dart backwards, stumbling over yourself in haste to get away, while he swings his katana wildly around and makes a lot of weird grunting noises. Once again, his mouth has been writing a check that his sword can't cash, but you doubt that matters when the trolls are stronger and faster than you in general, and he's accompanied by a giant murder drone. It's time for you to split. You'd better do it lickety. Glancing around, you notice you're about to cross over a bridge with an underpass beneath it. Perfect. Just like in action here, you can hop right over the edge of the road, duck into the underpass, and find a nice hiding spot. You dash towards the traffic barrier, vault nimbly over it, and oh Jesus piss, this is way higher than you thought it was. You hit the ground so hard with a resounding crack, and for a minute, your vision goes blank as a wave of pain sears your nerves. As the pain disorientation begins to fade, you decide that it's about time to take your stock of your situation. A couple of broken bones, old hat, troll trying to kill you, not unfamiliar, drones attacking you, same. The sun is about to rise and scorch you into nothing, again. Individually, you've risen to the challenge, just barely handling each one of these problems. But all at once, yeah, you think you're just going to call this one here. Just lay down in a ditch and die. Classy. So I died. Horribly in a ditch. That was a fucking episode and a half, man. That was some real bad shit. I hope you liked it. I imagine by now it's Friday, or Friday has passed. I think there should be another episode out by now, right? Because there should be, yeah, I think it might be Sunday. Is it Sunday? What day am I posting this? I don't know. Anyway, hopefully there's another episode. If there is, I will try and do the same sort of deal where I intermix it in between other stuff, because YouTube will actively try and kill your account if you post 2 things a day. I've found out. So I'm going to post 1 thing a day. So hopefully you like the other content I'm making. As I suggested last time on the last episode, check out my art channel. I'm going to be streaming there quite a bit this week, these next coming weeks, because I want to try and get it like fully up to speed and fully like actually real by the 1 year mark. I started it in like October, I want to say. And so that means that I got a little bit of time to do that. So if you want to come by and watch it'll be on RevScarecrow Arcade or on Twitch. If you want to watch like just video games and me curse like a sailor for fucking hours. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.